told you I'd be back. I warned you, rather, that I'd be back. I also warned you that I was going to make, Mum, can we have pizza at home? Here is, Mum, can we have pizza at home? I spec'd into swords because I had this base. Like, I went through the game with axes, and then I just used one of my respecs. Now I just cleared the Den of Evil in Hell. So I wanted to make this, because it seemed like a really good sword for, like, just cheap runes, and, you just want something that, like, a big damage stick for Berserk, right? Nice if it has IAS, which this does. We got the Shaker, we got the fourth, Thing, Gore Rider, IK. These are mostly for, like, just using the sword, even with that minus 20%. We got the High Lords, like, pretty decent stuff. Got some okay charms here. I tried to focus on, like, I tried to focus on getting a decent amount of Run Walk. I did have a few good Run Walk charms, but I had to get rid of them in Hell to kind of, beef up the resistances a little. Oh yeah, we got the Ravenfrost and Dwarfstar. Like, no need for Leech, because you don't leech off Berserk, so just, go hard. I was thinking maybe making a Lionheart in that, but, like, I could throw the Juriel Shell back on, or I could chuck the Rock Stopper on or something, wearing a Shaco, got a Rhyme, and then we got these bad boys on Switch. The Gull for now, obviously, because it's currently giving more MF. So this is for the find item moment, and skill tree is, a million miles from perfect, but it's nice to have room to improve. And I've just been going through Hell, play as A, shouting away ads, and just, only killing super uniques. It's been fine. And there were even a couple of uniques in the... Holy fuck, so devastating. Because, we have Cannot Be Frozen. Wait, there's a third? Okay. And, like, just look at the amount of stuff that comes out with Find Item. Obviously, I need to get a lot faster. But this is such a fun playstyle. Like, if anyone tells you that, like, barbarians kind of suck. They're always going to take more to, like, gear than a sorceress. So they kind of stink in, like, a solo self-found context, but, like, nothing I'm wearing is, like, really crazy or hard to find. And a lot of it is replaceable with, like, low-level runes and, like, rune words and so on. Like, let's just go back over this. Like, this is arguably the most important piece of equipment, because the whole thing about a Zerker is that you just, like, you don't fight anything that can be CC'd, and then you just kill the stuff that can't be CC'd before it can mess with you. You can even do it with a two-handed maul, like, you can do it with an IK maul or something. It's just, obviously, I've got a Rhyme here, and more resistances is safer. Because I'm doing this on Players A, by the way, so, this basic-ass stuff, like none of this, like, I suppose, the Foul and Iron, like, they're mid runes, but they're not, like, free. I don't think Countess can drop Foul. I don't think she can drop Co or higher, but, or maybe Co. But yeah, anyway. So this, getting the runes for this could be a little bit tricky, but, like, you'll get them. Don't worry about it. You will get them. And there's a lot of other weapons you can use, because Berserk just does a lot of damage. Like, I was using a Butcher's Cleaver, and you could very happily go through that. A Head Striker would be phenomenal. The only reason I'm not using Head Striker is because of the High Lords. And these, I'd have to just... But if you had a Head Striker, then you just don't need these, because you've already got your crit. Any amulet's fine. An MF amulet would honestly be better than this. Like, a really nice roll with, like, all res, MF. Like, these are such easy to find rings. outside of a solo self-found context. Like you're gonna have 5 or 6 of them or something, you know. So many. IK, easy set pieces to find. This is just 4 topaz armor. You know, I think the hardest thing to find here would be like what the Gore Ride or the Shaco and this. This could be a Tarnhelm. This could be a 3 topaz socket hat. It really doesn't matter. This could be Goblin Toe. It could just be good dual res MF boots. This, like if you're using this in this base, then like this, you know, you kind of really want the plus strength, but you know, you can live without it. On the weapon switch, Blades Valley Barber fall like rain from Helm Mephisto and Nightmare Mephisto. You can easily like all this stuff apart from the Shaco can also be farmed on like Nightmare Mephisto. That's the really like nice thing. So this is all just like, you know, if I'm gonna go fight a boss or something. And so these are a couple of little uniques that I already found. Just doing this, like these are nothing special, and I've already got them, but still cool finds. And this is a pretty cool little find. This rare with the chance to cast amp damage. But as I say, like I don't think this. So now the question is, I do have a Spirit Ward, but the more I think about it, I just don't think the strength is. Anyway, I'll put some more points in strength because I probably will want to wear a Storm Shield at some point. And yeah, at this point, it's just like there's not much point putting more in that. Like people say, you know, oh, min-max. I think I've already put too many points in that. You could have more in Fine Potion, but I'm never going to use Fine Potion. I don't care about that. So at this point, it's just more in Howl, more in Battle Orders, like whatever you feel you need. But one thing to bear in mind is like, the bigger your Howl, the safer this build. Like you can run this without battle orders. It's not necessary because it is just such a safe. Like there are definitely like dense areas where you're at a risk, you know, because there can be like 3 super uniques all rushing you, or like 2 super uniques and a couple of champions or something. I'm so bad at finding the waypoint here. It should be like, I don't know. It's usually near the stones, but if not, it'll be along the road. Or not. My map knowledge is stinky, but I want the waypoint here. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, no. Yeah, it's usually in the bottom right. If it's not by the road or by Rakumushu. But yeah, see this, you're just running through, and just running through really safely as well with the big range on the Howl. Now it's when you get into areas like this where there can be like, you can just get rushed by a whole bunch of super uniques. That it gets a bit dangerous. But to me, this is just like a fun MF build because you kind of take it anywhere. You don't worry about these and stuff so much because if you do come across something that is immune to magic, you can use concentrate to just beat it out. And yeah, on that basis, you should probably have a mercenary that does physical damage, but I really like the attack rating of this guy, and the consistency of his damage is just really nice. Although that was when I was like whirlwinding, and yeah, now I'm kind of CCing everything and making it spread out. Oh yeah, I probably should have showed the gear that this guy has. I love how long the howl lasts. Like, it just makes everything so free. Like, stopping to pick items up. Put the anti-damage on. The block chance is super nice on the back. Like 50% is really good. That's obviously only for standing still. So the problem with a build like this is like you need to stop and, you know, actually run something to get your levels. Because you tend to just run past everything, which is the whole point. But if you get in a good spot like this, where you can just like kill all the minions as well, why not? Just get the extra EXP. And you can make it a little bit safer for yourself. But I don't know, this guy seems fun to me. Like, it's very cool to me the fact that I can play a barbarian with like this much MF in how it plays A. And like, I'd say I have like decent muled over gear, but nothing like godly. Like the Shaco's cool, but I've found like 4 Shakos or something, like 1 ethereal and 3 normal, I think. At least 2 normal, so it's at least 3 Shakos. Oh, these crates are so dangerous. Like, for a melee character, the damage is just so good. The thing is... Hold on a second. like any barbarian build, it's just gonna suck at bossing. Like I went and killed Blood Raven with it, and even killing Blood Raven looks like a chore. Like, at fairness, I could have put on, like, you know, I was literally wearing enough gear to kill her. But I can tell you, my sorceress would not have, a sorceress, any sorceress really, wouldn't have had a problem. I can't carry. Yeah, look at that. That's the ward, which is a pretty cool shield. I can. What have I got here? Oh, I also found some more, like some replacement boots for my sorceress, because I accidentally threw out her nice shoes. I've got to find the... Ah, here we go.
This tree is
Do we want to mess with Treehead? It's just Treehead, that's the thing. Like, it's so much safer when it's just... just one. The only problem is the Howl is so good. Like, the minions are gone. They're in another state. Like, they're in another zip code. They don't want any smoke. You start leveling the Howl up. But man, it's so good. It's so good, like, to have a one-at-a-time melee build that doesn't have to fight everything. Like, you've got all the power of a one-at-a-time build. Usually, the waypoint is around the tree, but I don't think it will be if the tree is, like, stuck in a corner like that. Oh yeah, also, because it's, like, I needed so many skills, I even spec'd out of Leap Attack, which is probably a little bit silly, and I'll probably regret that by the time I get to the Arcane Sanctuary. Ah, there we go. Yeah, I had a feeling it would be down here. I can't really, like, always explain, like, why. I will think I know something about a map. I've just played this game a lot, but it was a long time ago, so, you know. Like, back in the day, I was pretty good at maps, at, like, reading maps, but I never, like, you know, just took any, like, tutorials or anything, like, super seriously, so... Yeah, I really want to get the waypoint here.
Thanks.
See how these big boys go. Like, you know, normally they will beat you up as a melee character, and it's like the danger of, I don't know, like Berserk is one example of like something they got so right with the barbarian. It's like it's a really balanced skill. The only thing like the barbarian really needs is like a way to kill the boss. Because like this will do okay damage to the boss. It does a lot of damage. And you know, with enough crushing blow and stuff, you can chunk them down okay. The problem is hitting them. We only get 2 corpses there. Oh yeah, that's right. It's partly based on your finite percentage, isn't it? I forget how dense these Act 1 maps are on Hell, like how overwhelming it can be when you are not doing much damage. Or don't have just like amazing CC, just like sending everything you don't want to fight away. Now this is a map that I just suck at. I often end up just having to explore the entire damn thing to find the tower. Yeah, See, like, I thought the tower might have been up there, but that's just the map edge. But I'm still on the road. This is tomorrow night. I am a teensy bit tempted to go that way and drop a portal. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. But I still haven't found the tower. Okay, it's just down here. Nice and close to the waypoint. So this would be a good. This is a good place to farm with this guy because there's super uniques on every level. I just have to remember to. These guys, freaking dangerous. Especially a champion. Damn, that guy's fireballs like really helped. So, oh yeah, I was going to show what this guy has. So this is a really, apart from the skins, which, you know, replace it with a stealth, and this will be a lidless wall, the one that gives plus skill and thingy. See, like, he deals with these, like, player 8 champion archers quite a bit more safely than my sorceress does, just because of the block. And, you know, having 2,000 doesn't bother. These resistances aren't, like, the two most important are, like, beautiful. And don't forget, I have cold and fire absorb. So the cold is not as bad as the wind, so I don't have to worry about getting like one shot by a Nova. And the fire is like, you know, probably at the point where it will be more or less immune. So like this is a thing, like having a bigger range on the howl will make this sort of stuff safer. Because these archers can like start peppering me outside of the howl range. Run across many uniques on this floor, but I've got a clear path down. I should probably take that back, but eh. If something drops, I'll go back. It's like, I don't have to fight these guys if I don't want to, but they're completely harmless if I want to. And like, I could switch to walking to be way safer against the archers, and that's something I really should do more. I don't think it is down this way. Actually, the funny thing is, when like all you are killing is champions and bosses, you just end up with so many juvies, it's bonkers. And these jewels are cool, but probably look for an exceptional place on the rhyme, like something with just a better innate chance to block. We don't want to deal with them. So like this was a build that like barely existed back when I used to play, because we didn't have Enigma. Like I think that's the most dangerous fight I've had so far, and I've just had to drink a bunch of jubies. But like A, like I've got him to drink, so B, I was amp damaged, and I was in this like tiny room where the enemies couldn't really run away. I could have just left the room, but there's no reason to. It was really safe. It's not going to be down here. There's a boss mob down here. I think it's going to be down here, but I'm hunting EXP and doing a little bit of like some casual thing while I'm here, so I do not mind this taking longer. That feels awful low to just top up just a tiny little bit of health. Oh, this is actually the way down. You know. I'm so bad at reading the tower map. Oh, I thought I saw gold there. I was a little bit excited for a moment, but I'll just take some jubies.
Not enough mana.
Oh, that was that was only dangerous because I'm greedy about using jubies to get mana back. So the main goal for this guy is like not to actually go like seriously try to farm the pits with it, but I can do a little bit of casual pit farming. Is more that like this guy is now someone who can like go to most terror zones. Like Arcane Sanctuary, you know, just all those things that like I look at with my sorcerers. Let's pop. Okay, this is on players 3, not players 8. But still, I feel like he would be doing just as fine on players 8. Time to kill. Not quite as good as I thought it was, but this weapon has a lot of room for improvement, as does the setup in general. Yeah, if these guys aren't unique, so why am I wasting my time? And the good thing about this build is, like, it's nowhere near, like, at its limit, if that makes sense. Like, it's got a lot more damage to come in just through skills. Just from synergies. Actually, hold on. Let's go do Tristram. I so miss not having TK to just go. Brr. Damn it, I forget where Rack and issue is. Hold on. I had this back on players 1. Alright, let's put it on players 8 for like the Griswold experience. That's right, I need to freaking take that to Kara.
Oh, there.
is dead and lifeless.
It's a little bit different on players there, but they die. And it's nice to think that, like, even if I don't change anything in my equipment, none of my equipment gets better. I will do a lot more damage than this just from leveling up. Like, I mean, A, from just attack rate and hitting more often, which is true, you know, everything. But also, like, this is certainly not going to be a cow level. And damage from archers. Regular enemies is not what I want to be doing. I want to take a little space for this world definitely going to go to town for more potions, because with those archers just peppering us as well, it's like the damage can get pretty dangerously spiky. Like, if we genuinely do just isolate the fight, it's pretty safe. The taunt overriding Hal is a little bit annoying. You can't just recast Hal, it's not like spicy with the just get that off.
Greetings.
About to get damage. Styling on him. Plays A.
You've got to get out of here.
Don't see any more uniques. Let's book it.
Good day.
You have written.
Eh. Nine to minimum damage is a lot of damage. Like off weapon, but
When I fled.
I was going to imbue these boots, hoping to get like a really nice roll, but then I found that set back here. Yeah, now we're kind of just rushing Andy, unless I wanted to do more Countess runs. But I feel pretty confident. I'm not messing with those jerks. Yeah, this is kind of when you get the most beaten up, is champion packs. Reason why she don't take damage? I know the pits is down one of these paths, but we're at the monastery now, so I know the other one.
This monastery
Goes to the
reeks
pits. I might
with
get this
evil and
late when I
corruption.
go back. We'll see. Cross back. I feel like attack rating needs help, but I don't know where you get it beyond like having 8 bajillion charms, which I've got quite a lot of. A lot of attack rating on the Raven. None on the sword, I don't think. And then it's just plus dex, I guess, so... can't really say I have a lot. Just the Raven
Order
Blast. And I have pretty
welcomes
low
you.
dexterity as well. I'll come back and I'll do the pit, even if it's just for some EXP. Just to see how it goes as well. I'm really curious about it, doing it without teleport. this is a really good map for like it being close to the monastery.
Thanks.
I think they may just like be too high level for the HAL to work properly. I don't know. I'll just grab that. Don't let me click on portal.
The Sisterhood welcomes you.
Play rate pits is kinda spicy when the
Good day.
HAL isn't working properly, but might as well stick it out. Why am I struggling to damage these? Are they like... It's weird, it's like the bosses go down faster. But I'm really struggling to hit them. Their eye level is just too high. Start shooting at me like that.
Good to see you.
Good evening.
But yeah, this is just being under level. Because we're level 70 and level 90 area. Like when you hit... Oh, what am I doing? When I'm hitting, the damage is fine. I'm just not hitting. And the HAL is doing a pretty poor job as well. See, like, there are places like that where I'm not gonna be able to fight through there. The how, like, being the way it is, just being too low level for this area. But it's fine. I can go do the pits of the mausoleum, and I can just finish other. EXP for that run was really freaking good. Like, as soon as I come back in here, things are much easier. I need to do a lot of leveling with this guy, so his mercenary doesn't just, like, kaput. Oh, that's right, I can get a few points in strength. Here I just go, I guess I just go, like, how the battle is. Both buff berserk. Attack rate is the worst thing. My guess is it's implemented the way it is. Oh, come on, what is my chance to hit? Oh, because I swung at a devil can for a second. Right? What, did they just have like a block chance or something? But it's like little things like that. It's like casters don't have to worry about enemies. Like, they don't have to worry about hitting at all. They just hit, guaranteed.
Thanks.
And then, in addition to just hitting, not having to worry about let's come back to this. I genuinely don't know if I can actually. I have to kite them away from the freaking portal
The
first.
Sisterhood welcomes you.
Jesus, that's miserable. But that's just like
Greetings.
shitty luck of having two champions and him being extra fast.
I should take this to Chelsea.
That was a little bit rough. But stuff like that's gonna happen if you leave it on player's aid. Just cursing. Can I not go Yeah, I can. Alright. I thought there were 2 packs there. Oh, nice. With freaking amp damage and then multi-shot. I should have gone back to town.
morning.
Didn't for some reason. Nice level 12 amulet in Hell. And that's the way the cookie crumbles though.
Oh,
Like once they're actually POW, the archers are very safe.
No one should ever be caged.
This is one of the reasons why, like, I know a Hammerden is going to be really good. Like, a really good thing to have. And I have a really potentially strong build for a Hammerden, but, like, equipment-wise. Gosh. What is wrong with this game? Like, I swear this did not happen in OG Diablo, where like you can't click on a door, you can't click on a monster, you walk into the monster instead of attacking them. I wonder if it has something to do with my resolution. Like if things are just like bigger on my screen, like look bigger on my screen than they actually are. So I'm pretty sure the exit here is. I have a couple of dicey encounters, but the pit is way too rough for us now. But kind of should be. We're like crazily underleveled for it. But for the most part, I'm kind of just like going through fighting what I want, ignoring what I don't want, and it's relatively like safe and easy. Of course, I've done like every way but the way. Like this is another multi-shot archer. The last one then like really dinged it up, but that's because we had a curse. If you haven't seen it, check out I think it's Zarfan's video where he starts like a completely new character. And eventually it's the doggo traps that allow him to level because they don't have heal. It's crazy to think that someone at Blizzard put that into the design of the game. With this inanimate stone trap, it shouldn't heal. Like, you'd think everything would be, like, coded the same, but nope. Well, I can find item on the gargoyle trap, that's weird. But yeah, we're kind of just running to Andariel after doing a couple of fairly easy tower runs. Like, I could run Rakanishu with this guy and, like, really fast, but it's just killing Rakanishu. It's like not like there's no point chasing all his minions. So I think the Countess Tower is the best place to level it now. I was hoping the pits would work, but I should have known better. It's tough. And a big part of that is just the island. Like, you can't hit stuff. But this is good. This is comfy. Like, even things that are normally, like, really dicey for, like, a sorcerer. Like, these high archers. Just, CC everything. Assassinate their boss. Kill a few of them if you want. If they stand around. I guess is just randomly too high level to knight away. And he's apparently just made a bridge and has another goatman inside him. Strange thing, Oh, they killed my mercenary. That's so cool.
I need mana.
This is like stupidly dangerous, and I should just go back to town, get more potions, get this guy.
Hello.
I really didn't think that like 2 skeleton archers were gonna kill my mercenary, but I guess that's just the price of being this low level. Why is that guy just randomly made of bricks? just that like little bit of distraction he provides, and him shooting fireballs in the ghost would have been super helpful. Have that. Just losing a fight. Oh, I'm like wondering why I'm getting crap kicked out of me by one goat
Yes?
man because I'm using the Blade of Alibaba.
Yes?
But this is a gameplay, like a good gameplay loop. And the amount of like struggles I'm getting into are just not that many for a melee character who is this underleveled. The biggest struggle I'm having right now is with melee. I really hate the jail. Like, it feels like it's just such a nothing area. There's no quest here. It's just needlessly like long with a really annoying map. Like this, even the first time I played Diablo, this area almost like made me stop playing. It felt like such an endurance test. It was just like, you know, empty room, no rewards, no quests. And then you still have like 2 layers of catacombs as well, which is the thing that I just don't understand. Like if the inner cloister took you directly to Andariel, then I'd say sure. But I just think like the jail very specifically throws off the pacing of Act 1 in a like sucky way. Because Act 1 is otherwise like very carefully crafted and has really good pacing. The Act 2 is really good as well, and the whole sort of the desert can start to feel kind of samey, but it's sort of supposed to feel like this really long trek. So I think they kind of get that part right. And also, then you have like the really cool change where like suddenly you're in the palace, this area that you couldn't get into and was sort of teased with at the start from Jeremy. And you know that like there's going to be something cool or dangerous in there. And then you get the Arcane Sanctuary, which is one of the coolest. Like, obviously I know speedrunners and stuff don't like it. And yeah, we've all had a bad time there because it's a little bit like the Maggot Lair where you have to fight everything one at a time. It's really easy to get like dead-ended and stuff if you don't have mobility. should have, yeah, I'm back to having like I have one bad fight and I use like half of the ones that I end up getting, but you have a few good fights and they just rack up so nicely. What do I want? Yeah, a little bit more strength. And then I guess it's just Howling Battle Orders. Keep coming. And then I mean some Blade Mastery would probably not be a terrible idea. But Battle Orders and Howl are giving like more damage per level than Blade Mastery, as well as like, you know, other nice benefits. Or Battle Orders at least is giving me extra life, and Howl is yawning. Howl's giving extra range on the Howl, which is kind of meaningful because the biggest issue I've had so far, aside from just being, you know, grossly underleveled in the pits, now, is this the floor where the waypoint is? I don't know. I'm so bad at the jail map. Catacombs I know a little bit better, at least from the waypoint, and I do want to get the map here. Let's go have a brawl with Ash. Oh, nice. I don't think it's anything
So
really
cold
worth
and
having,
damp
but
under the earth.
Yes?
I think it's just the battle branch, is it? Yeah, the regular basic bitch poleaxe. Pretty good weapon. I was gonna say for level 25, you can almost use Huanen's at level 25. I'm just always happy to see some IAS on a weapon though.
Good evening.
This is where I kind of get lost because it's like damage not quite there for hell, even if you were to upgrade it. But it's cool all the same. The mods, resistance is always, or any resistance is always welcome. And this is the thing. You learn the maps from waypoint down, but not necessarily from like entrance to exit. Because the waypoint is the thing that you do, you know, repeatedly and learn. I don't know how before. But I really like this, just like, okay, I'll just howl and run through. I don't have to like kill everything. This is where things like druids can feel bad to play, or like
Greetings.
you know, vengeance paladin or something, like someone who can't kill a lot of stuff quickly. You know, it's all just 1v1s, but they also don't have like some strong CC. So being a kind of 1v1 specialist, nice, but also cursed. Man, it feels so good to be playing a barbarian with like just a big sword and shit. That's how it always used to be for me. I want attack rating, but I don't really have space for that charm. Okay, so it's just come the long way and the bad way. And I've explored pretty much the entire map apart from the way out. I have found a decent amount of boss packs though. Just good experience. No, just just assassinating uniques gets you so many juvies. And I had just got a level like back in a close, I think it was. And I'm halfway to it, so my main worry with this as like a playstyle rather than as just kind of like an end game farming machine. My primary concern was that usually the waypoint is like all the way down here, although not always. Okay, spiders. Weirdly unconcerned by how, but also like maybe not aggressive. yeah, my biggest concern about doing something like this to like get through hell was that I would just like have to end up like farming encounters tower for like hours to howl most enemies away. It's like freaking random spectral hits in hell that just
The
like
Order
all the
welcomes
full
you.
and crit poison you, and now you have to go back to town. Really suck. I do have low, very, very low poison resistance though. This guy just doesn't give a shit about how. He just does not care. He's the brave fallen. It should be down, but it's not going to be. I know that guy's a minion, but I'm done hacking spiders to death for now.
Hello.
So I can bypass
Good
them,
day.
and I will. I was worried that that repair cost might have been something crazy, but
Hello.
luckily, not a problem. Not too spicy at all. Alright, we got our waypoint. I knew something was down here. How bad is this map gonna be though if I do actually want to farm Andario? Maybe not that bad. And I'm probably never going to want to farm Andario with this guy because you can't find potion, a corpse. And if I put enough crushing blow on to make the fight tolerable, then he'll have barely any MF. But the catacombs could be a good place to farm just because it's dense. There's a lot of uniques. I held those guys
Thanks.
twice, but just didn't give a shit. It seems like if the enemy is like in a corner or up against a wall or something, Hal does not work very well. But it could also be a level thing, because even like I'm pretty sure even this area is like level 80 or something. And you being higher level definitely helps Hal. I think I'm going the wrong direction. Surprise, surprise. probably on the other side. Like, but the last thing I want to do is like not explore this side and then go all the way there. And so the nice thing about this guy is he just runs really freaking fast, which is cool. So yeah, I can't teleport. Well, I can. I can get a teleport staff or that's here annoying. But yeah, get a teleport staff or even just grab spell steal. But spell steal is like really expensive. Just like hideously tanky. I think what I might do is swap out these Gore Riders for Goblin Toes. Just to have more crushing blow, because I've already got a really good amount of deadly strike with this and my base. I mean, does this thing have any deadly strike? Does it like to have really anything apart from damage and IAS and plus the combat skills? It's good. Plus strength, plus vitality requirements. It also has requirements minus 20, which is really cool. But yeah, no. The amount of jubies I'm getting out is silly. There we go. It's not a bad level 3. Oh, I left this place at 8. Maybe Andy himself hasn't seen it yet.
Thanks.
Like, this being unable to just click on a monster is like for real, I cannot click on this guy. Like, if I start using right click, it, like, you know, cleans its shit right the fuck up. But very frustrating little foibles. It's really gonna take a while if I just randomly stop attacking him while holding the button down. And this guy just doesn't. It's not that they don't care about house, this sword changes the override on them. Honestly, not that bad.
Good day.
Good day.
And like I said, there was never a thought in my mind that this guy was going to be really good at boss killing, because barbarians just suck at boss killing as a
Good
rule.
day.
And, you know, he just deleted my first I didn't even get a chance to cast the channel. Sucks. Honestly, this just ain't too bad. A little bit of crushing blow. Could have more. Oh, is that like exactly what I was saying I might want to switch to?
Let the gate be opened.
It's cool. Are there any super uniques in here?
This.
Honestly, not a bad Andy fight. She might have even been spawned in Players 8, but who knows.
Good to see you.
And yeah, kind of everything else about Goblin Toe sucks compared to Gore Rider. And not having any source of open wounds is a little bit like, but
Finally.
And Dari.
I'm really surprised because, like I said, like, I've never really made a Berserking Barbarian before, and I know the Pitzerker is like a really established build in like the current Diablo that it has been for a very, very long time. But like back when I used to play, people just didn't play Berserkers, and you know, Howl wasn't like a super valued skill or anything. So it's really cool to see this. But yeah, this sword will definitely need replacing at some point because it's kind of anti-synergistic with the chance to cast Taunt. But it's getting the job done, and I've got like a little short sword that does about the same damage, but it doesn't have the pluses to combat skills and stuff like that. So a friend of mine who I haven't spoken to for ages has messaged me. He messaged me a couple of days ago, and I didn't remember who it was. I kind of like to try this in both hands. See if I can get that, like, you know, one shot, one kill. In which case, they might be better because the extra deadly strike. But against, like, archers, it's just like...
Stay a while and
Yeah, they'll
listen.
just rip you to
Your
pieces.
presence honors me.
I can go get my
Good
book of
day.
skill.
Greeting. How do I know?
I don't know, I can trust you.
I know my...
You
We gotta get, like, the
Good
Herodric
day.
back scratcher and the Herodric cheese wheel.
I don't
And for anyone who didn't know, this is a pretty reliable way to get down to Sewers level 2. Reliable enough that reliable enough that you can probably re-roll your map to get it if you're not involved. Alright, so first of all
How
that.
may I help you?
hello.
Second, because this place just sucks for poison. At least stack up a little bit of duration on the resist. Now I never know where to go from here. Alright, very lucky there. Very, very lucky. But then I still need to find Radaman. Someone around here with a might aura? Yeah, when it works, it works. It's really good. And I definitely get the feeling that this is one of those builds that's just gonna well, A, the damage is gonna get a lot better. Just from synergies. The survivability will get a lot better. Because even the downside of Berserk, like reducing your armor to 0, is not that big a downside when you're over leveled. Because enemies will have as hard a time hitting you when you're over leveled as you have hitting under level. Fucking crap poison. Even like I've got like 2 minutes worth of buff poison resist, and even here it just doesn't
There's
go
no
away.
trouble
It's so
a mug
annoying.
can't cure.
And I'm just crit poisoning again. Oh no, not again. Chunk right him down. Can't actually attack him. Is this skeleton like the howl or die, one or the other?
Of the Walking Dead.
Honestly, that wasn't too bad. Radamant in hell can be a really painful fight. But we kind of just did our thing. We just went in there, we held everything away. And beat the brakes off him.
Greetings. They say
And I guess one in hell.
I bet you.
The mage is one of the better hirelings, to be honest.
Good day.
If you're low level, like they're the least gear dependent, they're the easiest to like really kit out. I mean, unless you're talking about some crazy like rainbow facet arrangement. way, as I was saying, the mages, because they don't need to hit. The mages just put in like a nice hit that makes you run away. So, like, I'm having a harder time killing minions than bosses. Oh, what is that? Another homunculus. Nice.
I can't.
Oh, that was the ward that I found, yeah. Chuck the homunculus in there. Yeah, so like just a little bit of MF with this guy. A little bit, but a very safe amount to wear. And you just kind of run through these like open areas, howling everything away. And then you just go bully a Zucchini. You could easily do this with two-handed. Like if you confine your adventures to places where you know archers aren't going to spawn. You could pretty comfortably do this with like, actually, maybe doing this with like an obedience would be advantage in some ways, like because you wouldn't involve your resistance. You wouldn't have as much MF on the weapons. Now remember, this is players 8. I'm kind of just doing this on players 8 almost as a test for myself.
How may I help you?
But yeah, I'm just like doing this on players 8 to like see when it hits the wall. Wait, is it still play? No, okay, it's players 3. But we have done sections on players 8 and been fine once. And I feel like at this point, the way to more comfortably do players 8 would probably be to just ditch the shield and players 8 farm somewhere where there aren't going to be a lot of missile units, like just Eldritch or Pindle or something. Even like Rocket Issue is pretty reliably isolated. Let's go back to clear that curse. I'm not gonna fight fanaticism birds.
Hello.
I don't know why I have such a bad habit of going to Farah. I think it's because I don't see Atma. Where did the bird go? Come on, baby, didn't just disappear. Apparently he did. Whatever. I knew there was something with the finality. The bird ended up on like the other side of the map. What an annoying bird. Yeah, I should go up the stairs. I kind of like the waypoint here, but
Thanks.
obviously I don't need the key. But the waypoint would be nice. The waypoint is usually around the dungeon entrance, isn't it? When all else fails, you know, I can kind of just run around the outside of the map. Okay, there we go. Got the waypoint. I do like to get waypoints, but particularly in Nightmare, my waypoints tend to look like crap in Nightmare. And they do really look like crap on Nightmare with this guy, but like if I have a sorceress, I'll get every waypoint. Because you're just like, boom, 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 boom. Teleport, teleport. Oop, there it is. Nice, that wasn't too bad. Exactly how many curses
Tell me your
have we
troubles.
had here? It's little things like that that just like they keep adding up and make the game like a bit of an exercise in suffering for the characters. It's like you suffer more if you're under leveled, you suffer more if your gear isn't bad, you suffer more from curses because, you know, obviously they amplify physical damage and you have to go into like physical attack range to do damage. this way. Usually they're around the entrance to the lair, but the more I feel this issue with like targeting things, especially with the left click. So I am using concentrate to because I'm so used to like using left click, so that's probably something that's really slowing. Why did I go this way? I'm so tired right now. Decision making is just freaking. Sanders?
I can't carry anymore.
Cool drop.
Thanks.
So many dead beings there. Like, even after howling them, it's a struggle to get past. Hey, it's a little worse. Like getting through the maggot layer here is going to be a fight. That was a good level. Or a few more of them. Let's grab some more potions.
How may I help you?
There's nothing the right portion can't cure.
Damn, that was a pretty nice little staff. Just from like that quick flash I got of it. Nothing like amazing. Nothing that anyone would use. Unless it was some kind of challenge run. You can kind of just run through the maggot lair. If you just go under. honestly, the damage is good enough on players 3 that I can use skills. Just have to be able to save them. But knowing that, I should probably crank it back up to players 8 just for the experience. But also. The option is definitely there. You just crank it back up to players 8 for some really good target farm. Shit. And I don't want those jerks behind me. Oh, I was actually right. What a freaking tease. Rare Balrog skin?
I am overburdened.
True socket, decent little war base there, but I'll just take that one back for the goal. Oh, I didn't get the maggot, the Fire Oasis waypoint, so I should probably just walk out of here. This guy's quick. I can house up with. I should have let the portal at the top. Wouldn't be the first time I've had to do this. I didn't find item on that corpse, and I heard a ring drop and was like, yeah. Oh look, and the waypoint's right there. Super handy.
Good day.
I think I could honestly do worse than
Let's
farming
stop.
than Maggot Lair, because it's a high level area. And it wasn't actually too bad in there, like in terms of hitting
Greetings.
things. But, if I have the option to just keep pushing, I'll just keep pushing. I should really stop to kill beetles, because they give really good EXP. I know when I get to the Arcane Sanctuary, I'm gonna regret not having a deep attack. But who knows, maybe I'll just have amazing luck with the Sanctuary and like first way it. Which literally never happens. teleport. It's not that big a drama, and normally that's not how shit like that works. I'm curious how the claw vipers are going to be, because they are normally a real vibe check for any melee character. Like the stun, knockbacks. They kind of. Is the exit not down here? Wow, that's so weird. Normally, if it comes down, the exit will be down, but it actually looks like the exit was right on top, and I just being very upset. I've not seen it. Or seen it, but not acknowledged its existence. I kind of would like to grab the Lost City waypoint because I know there's the Ancient Tunnels dungeon here. Wow,
I need mana.
poisons, man. Like, it's one of the few things in this game that genuinely makes me angry.
There's no trouble
but,
a mug can't cure.
like, I understand where it
Blessings
came
to you.
from. It's just the way things are scaled for hell. But it's just such a bad thing that, like, if they made it so that, like,
Welcome to my
everything in this game that can crit you for poison, I don't know, just, like, make the poison more damage over less time. Like, I think I'm pretty sure I've just been... Yeah, like, I know my poison resistance is bad, but... Okay, that's not a crit. Or maybe it is, because... I'm still freaking poisoned. No, it's not a crit. Town again.
Hello.
hitting this guy. Because he was magic resistant. Alright. I probably should have read that. Just want the waypoint. I never really knew where to look for the waypoint in this area, but I'll just run through it. Like, it's not too bad when you have Al, you're not having to stop for like a long ass fight every time a mob rocks up on you. It's crazy that the game really kind of just incentivizes you to like skip a lot of the fights rather than just you. Okay, the waypoint could be down in this corner somewhere, but I don't think it is. It's usually in and over. And there's the Claw Viper Temple. I don't know. Alright. I'm gonna put a portal there, and I'll try to, I'll look for the Lost City waypoint. When I come back. Because I do consider this to be a fairly important waypoint. Especially because this area can get terror zoned. No idea he was zombies. Like, what is this? This guy's taking as long to chop down as this guy. And it's not even a minion. Oh, it's because they're freaking magic. Okay, my own stupid. I shouldn't have concentrate. Mercenary back.
Good to see you.
Good day.
And another freaking Sanders. Crazy.
Greetings.
coming up on like the 2.5 hour mark here. Ah, there we go. Alright. Beautiful. Now. Act 2. Like, what happened to my portal? Oh, I must have portaled back without thinking at some point. Oh well, doesn't matter. It's not like I have to track halfway across the map or anything. It's fairly close by. I should probably grab the occasional thing to sell.
The sun has never shone here.
Something I was worried about. That some of these dungeons might just be like too gassed.
I can't. I can't.
Let's really not get any. Yeah, I'm just straight up out of town.
Thanks.
took a lot of stress off me.
Good morning.
Entirely my bad. But honestly, like,
I've
Heard people talk about how, like, you know, Act 2 is like their, you know, least favorite act, and like, I totally understand that, like, a lot of really cool things can be said for Act 2. Like, I think from a pacing standpoint, it's awesome. Artistically, it's awesome. But there's just little things about it that make it a shitty act. Like the fact that the waypoint is like a bajillion miles over here, that like everything being so spread out that your healer is here, but then you've got another healer there, but then you have to go here to buy town portals, and you have to go to someone else to buy keys, and like, I just hate the fact that you have to buy keys from the blacksmith in
There's
Act
nothing
3,
the right portion can't cure.
and that's enough to bug me, and Act 2 is worse than that in like every sense. Like, for me, playing, like, having fun, a big part of having fun in this game is like trying to do things in like a relatively quick way, in a way that feels efficient. I also hate that Act 2 is basically the poison act, and poison is just broken in hell. It sucks. And it doesn't matter if you have poison resist. Like, in order to have good poison resist, the game expects you to have, like, not just top tier poison resist, but also
Tell me your
top tier
troubles.
poison duration
Good
reduced.
morning.
Which is like, there's nothing in the game that you would want to wear that gives you that. It's all shit. So you just have to, like, just suck up the fact that, like, your poison makes you its bitch constantly. You always have to go back to town. Like, and I say, even if you have crit poison resist, you get crit poison, you're going back to town, because this shit lasts for like a minute. And you're just constantly going to be eating health potions, trying to, like, these guys just do not give a shit about health sometimes. But enough of them do that it's not too bad. Like, sure, most of them
It is good to know
But-
that the sun shines once again.
when you're level 73, like, kind of rushing through hell, your mercenary will just die
I'm
constantly.
glad that's over with.
That is the
Hello. I've been researching.
unfortunate reality of it. Now this thing's worth a look. Terrible.
The vibe.
How may I help you?
You may enter.
When the trouble I have.
Hold on, just a moment. But yeah, I was thinking about finding a high level area. Oh, how annoying. Yeah, I know it's straight down, but even with this crappy rhyme and like no big investment in decks, if I'm just walking, I still have like a really good block chance and surprisingly good defenses in general. It's not like I'm stacking defense with another multi-shot archer. Fight those chunky boys, but I kinda do want to get the weak point. Strange, the horror archer, is that just because he's a minion? Like the chance to hit just went from like 50 to 70? That's probably because he's a minion. can't tell if I've gone the wrong way or if I just forgot and the waypoint's on 3. I'll come back and get it if I need to, but... For now, I'll just get my mercenary back.
Yes, citizen.
Although, I don't know why I even want that waypoint. The only area in there you're likely to farm is the Arcade Sanctuary, and you get a waypoint right in the Sanctuary, so... Bit silly of me. Disgusting mouse.
One could get
Not
lost
get
in
damaged with a bunch of archers.
Greetings.
Blessings to you.
It's crazy that like
Excellent.
I've found 2 homunculuses when like the original plan was like, oh, I'll just find a decent necro head with some pluses and like you know, make a shale in it, which like honestly they do so much worse than that. It's not like it needs god level bosses to summon necro, you know, like +2 to scale up. came this way, like, on the premise that basically, like, it's gonna be in the most horrible direction, which is this. Because I know what sort of luck I have. But... yeah, when you get a little bit of space, you don't need a lot of space to be able to just harrow your way past. Spectres are kind of weakness in this so pure magic damage, you kind of crunch them down pretty fast. Because their whole shtick is like physical, but fighting ghosts is just painful because, like, obviously if you're over leveled, it won't be that bad. But yeah, if you're over leveled, it wouldn't be a problem. But otherwise, you know, they just hit you, and because they just hit you, that means they just mana drain. You don't have mana to recycle. I didn't think about that, because one of the things I was thinking was like, this might be a good build to just like ghosts in the Arcane Sanctuary. And, you know, when you're over level, I suspect. They just did not give a shit about Hal. They had the green stuff over their head. That's the way. Like, the damage on the ghost is quite good. leap or leap attack. And you regret not having it. Honestly, getting through towers is not bad at all. Just the amount of garbage that I haven't had to fight. You know how long it takes to just hack through this pack of just trash and I'm not gonna drop anything. It's just like a like I've watched people do like, you know, solo self-bounds with like Vengeance Paladin. I would 100%. Like it might be fine for a little bit. When I say it, it's genuine. Damn, I almost missed it. But it's not gonna be done. Oh wow, it actually is. You guys see the bloodstream foul is naked. No, I actually have to kill you to get you out of my way. This guy
Oh, I hate staining my hands with the blood of foul sorcerers.
I feel
Greetings.
That actually got freaking dicey just because of like monsters not giving a shit about how, which happens in like those really tight areas. I always just run to the edge and then go through them all. I never remember the exact order of like where they're laid out. And it's a circle. Oh, that's... painfully busy, but... I've got a funny feeling that this business of like not being able to just click on monsters and attack them
You must.
How may I help you?
without the game like having some kind of stroke every now and then. It probably has something to do with controller support, which like die here because Jesus Christ, like the amount of monsters that just don't fucking care about Hal and how RNG Hal is.
Stay a while and listen.
Is kind of making me wonder if this might actually be a kind of shit build. But it's not that. It's just there are areas of this game where like every build kind of sucks, particularly on Hell difficulty, and you just don't want to be there because like you're just hacking through a wall of meat, especially as a melee character. So you're just trying to kind of shove your way through, and that's when you end up getting in trouble. But coming back to this game, I totally understand like how much, like there was so much molding and seeding from barbarian players in the change from normal to LOD. And I just feel it. Like they really just cut the barbarian's legs out from under him for no reason either. Like, the Barbarian was nowhere near the strongest character in the game in OG Diablo. Hammerdins was still stronger, Sorceress was still stronger. They were better at weapons, they were better at basically everything. They were better at, like, Sorceress was going to be better at boss killing, obviously. Like, I'm using Hal, I'm really trying to just have to, like, this is just like a hallway that's, like, paved with enemies. Like, there's physically no space to run past them after I howl until I kill a good chunk of them, which is like, you know, it's fairly doable considering I'm fairly certain I am under-leveled for this place.
How may I help you?
It's not too bad, but it does bug me because it's just like, can we have an AoE? Like, we literally had an AoE melee ability and it was perfectly fine. Like, it was dumb the way it worked, where it didn't take weapon speed into comparison, so that all that mattered was just having the biggest, longest range damage stick you could get your hands on. And like, I get it, that was dumb, that needed to change, but like, they just bricked it, they just killed it. Like, Whirlwind is so shit, and it doesn't even have a synergy. Like that to me is just like, right? Excuse me? Like, oh, it's just too strong. And it's like, I don't know, maybe, like, no one will like to play Whirlwind in hardcore, ever. It doesn't matter how god tier it is, because you just die when you play Whirlwind. Sometimes you just die, like this, because you can't potion during it. So, you just die sometimes. It sucks. Yeah, so I'm going to put this on for some more Crushing Blow against Stinky Juriel. And you know what, if we're going to go, we might as well go. Just go for the quick kill. It's only on players 3. Like a lot of melee builds, this has kind of been like very high highs and some low lows. But I'm like there are moments where you struggle playing with Sorceress, just kind of like running past everything. Probably could have drank some potions, like some juice. This is just like barbarian things. They just suck at killing bosses. And I've got like really good anti-boss gear and very high damage rating. This is just fast. And it's like, you know, he's not like he's getting chunked, right? But like, he's already dead if you're a paladin. Smart. Like, you didn't need this much pushing blow, just the double blow. And if you're a sorceress, he's half health within the first, like, 2 seconds. This is not that hard. Especially considering, like, every melee character essentially gets a huge DPS nerf against your because of I feel like player stream with this though would probably go down far simpler to be like quote unquote far with this guy with a decent amount of mana. But it's not worse. Funny thing is, I actually had like a desperate need for town portals earlier.
I thank you. I have failed. Diablo has freed his accursed brother. The world remains at their mercy.
Greetings.
All in all, considering how much I was struggling with the maps, that was not too bad in Act 2.
The Archangel.
Act 3 is like a sterner test of your build, but it's also kind of like the real test in Act 3 is going to be the council fight, maybe the sewers. But most of Act 3, I kind of just run through and like good riddance
Now
to
that
it.
I'm never.
But did all the quests for Act 2, did all the quests for Act 1. Don't have all the waypoints, but I think I've got all the meaningful waypoints.
Greetings, Jaren. Good day.
So I probably pack in the stream for now. Finish up Act 3 at some point tomorrow. I do kind of like this, like dual purpose, like playing through and doing a little bit of MFing at the same time.
Welcome to.
Because we found some interesting stuff. We had some drops. Now, I've still got this. Like, I'm obviously going to sell these because they're not things I want to keep, but still cool.
You know.
Yeah, it still plays 3.
I.
I just want to see how quick they go down. If at all.
I can't carry anymore. I am overburdened.
I forgot to sell that. But yeah, Act 3 definitely going to be running through. But I wonder if this guy would be a good trab farmer, assuming, you know, you can beat the council easily enough. Because you get the second drop. Interesting thought. Cube some of this stuff up, tidy things up a little bit. Oh yeah, that goes. But yeah, pretty cool. I'm kind of liking this guy's pace of play. Like I said, high highs, low lows. It pisses me off sometimes. There's little things that like just doesn't seem to work. But when it works, it's really smooth and it's really fun. And when you just kind of like running through an open area, like in Act 1, it was really nice. Just running through those like wide open areas, booing everything away, and then just like bearing down on the super uniques, and then quick getting your second drop. really good. Anyway, we'll play test it a little bit more tomorrow. Obviously, it's a very well understood type of character, and I mean, if I were willing to put this down to play as one and use this same gear, like get rid of the MF, I'd have to use the good gear. I'd probably be fine as a whirlwind bar going through hell. I mean, if I kept all the crushing blow and everything else, I could probably even crank it up a decent amount. But, eh. Whirlwind it just makes me sad. Like when you whirlwind through something like 3-4 times and like you hit it twice. And like I'm not terrible with whirlwind. I have a decent idea of like how to do like the framing patterns because I used to do a decent amount of like PvP back in the day where you're trying to like draw a little triangle with the whirlwind that should maximize its DPS, but even when you get that pattern sometimes on a super unique, so you should be like doing like 6 or 7 swings per swipe, per like stroke of the triangle, and you're just barely hitting them. And when you hit them, the damage is like, it's like in theory, if Whirlwind like hit more, it could work really well with things like Crushing Blow, but it just sucks. Like they just debuffed it so badly, but they never changed any of the things that it didn't work with, or that like the potion thing existed to make it weak, to make it dangerous to use. The relatively low end damage and stuff like that. Anyway, I've babbled enough. We all know Whirlwind's not what it was, and it's one of those things. Like I really hope if they ever come back to this game, they kind of just look at it again and